Welcome back. My name is Kit.
And I'm Hatter.
And I'm Steve.
And this is Streaming Things, Streaming the Penguin. This is episode 2 of season 1, titled Inside Man, which is Steve's natural state.
He loves being inside man.
I do. It's like a warm blanket.
Warm blanket.
Yeah.
It just makes you feel that. Makes you feel so much better.
It does.
It's been a weird release schedule. I hope you guys watch the show, which as we're recording debuts tonight, because, you know, the first episode was on a Thursday. We warned you, but you probably didn't listen. And episode 2 is now on its normal Sunday night schedule. Because I do recall scrolling Twitter Thursday night, and there was a lot of people confused. Anybody else waiting for this penguin?
Yeah, looking for this penguin.
Where's the penguin?
I want to see what's going on with Oz Cobb.
Whoever that is.
Whoever that is. Don't know him, but I want to know his story.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And it's also been a weird production schedule for us because we actually haven't even seen each other for 2 weeks.
No, we've both been out of town. You were at a wedding and working.
And working, yeah.
Double whammy. And I was at Fantastic Fest in Austin, Texas. Our old stomping grounds, Steve.
Oh, yeah.
Last time I was there. You know, I drove by like the Driscoll where we interviewed the creative team behind We Were Dangerous and all that stuff. And I was like, aw.
I love them. I follow them on the gram and I just like every post.
They're so wonderful.
They're so kind.
I don't think that movie has distribution in the U.S. still.
It doesn't, not yet.
I never released that interview. Maybe it's my fault.
Where's the movie from?
New Zealand.
Oh, New Zealand. It's a good film, though.
You know, I interviewed
really
another New Zealand director and also an amazing, sweet person. I'm just starting to think that whole country is wonderful people.
They are. Every New Zealander I've met, aces. Yeah. They remembered me like 4 days after we interviewed them. I was coming out of the bathroom. They're like, Stu? They even remembered that Stu Steve joke. It was fun.
You're like, fuck, I didn't wash my hands.
Nux.
Why do we run into celebrities in the bathroom so often?
I know. You ran into, who was it this weekend?
Corey Feldman. He was upset. No one was taking the stall and he had to pee, which I'm with him.
Did the Feldster do it? Did he go into the stall?
Oh, he did. Oh. He was like, look, Goonies never say die.
Okay, yeah. So you brought up a controversy.
Yeah, this is very confusing.
I don't want to get into it too much. I don't know if it's just an Austin, Texas thing, but last year, a good friend of mine, Joe, from the House of Cinema podcast.
Cinema Joe?
Yeah, he was standing there in line with us, and he said, hey, we're like 5th in line, because that's Fantastic Fest. It's a real sausage fest. That's what they should call it. And so the line to the guys' bathroom is much longer than the line to the gals. And so we're all waiting in line for a long time to pee between screenings. And, you know, we're 5th or 6th in line at this point. And I'm like, hey, Joe, there's a stall open, buddy. We can speed this up a bit because there's 3 stalls, 3 urinals. And he's like, we can't take a stall. Somebody might have to poop. And I'm like, well, that's an interesting way to look at it. I mean, it only takes 30 seconds to pee, maybe a minute if you have any kind of medical issues or you've had just an extra full bladder. It'll be fine. He's like, no, the difference between being okay and shitting your pants is just a few seconds sometimes. And so that's rude. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense because the girls' bathroom only has stalls. And if they want to pee, they got to take a stall.
Right.
He's like, yeah, but that's not how this is structured. There's pee toilets and there's poop toilets.
There's a pee toilet and a poopy toilet.
Well, I'll concede that shit in your pants is worse than piss in your pants.
Sure.
Piss in your pants isn't great.
That's right.
Yeah. So,
and I was like, no, you're being selfish because there's so many people behind us that need to pee, and there's a perfectly good, I almost said pee hole. There's a perfectly good toilet waiting on us, right? And so he's like, look, you're welcome to take the stall if you want to be an asshole, right? So I take the stall, of course, because I'm both an asshole and I disagree. And anyway, that was like in the back of my mind, but he's not the only one. That happens a lot at Fantastic Fest. There's every day, at least one stranger would look at me in front of me and go, I mean, there's a stall open if anybody wants it. Like they were morally opposed to going themselves, but you were welcome.
I won't do it, but if there are any dicks in line.
Any assholes that want to let somebody poop their pants all over here.
And I prefer stalls anyway. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I like looking at other people's dicks, but I mean,
other than
I'll go to a stall if I have to.
You're the reason I prefer stalls. So I'm like, yeah,
what you
every
with
time.
over there?
Oh man, that's pretty good. I like that. And you could maybe change that a little bit, shave around the top a little bit. Give it a little topper. Give it a little topper.
That's a nice dick. That's a nice dick.
You're doing real good work on the manscaping.
So I take the stall every time, and I'm just kind of like baffled by this whole process. Anyway, one day I'm washing my hands, and I hear a voice that I kind of recognize say, "Is anybody going to take the stall?" And nobody's answering him. I turn around, and it's Corey Feldman fourth or fifth in line, also baffled that there's an open stall and everybody's just standing there waiting still. And one of the urinals, by the way, is like out of order. So it's like it's getting worse and worse every day.
It's even worse.
And he's like in a white suit with a fedora, and everybody's just looking at him like,
man, white suit and a fedora in a bathroom is a power move.
It's a whole power move. Was he wearing sunglasses too?
I think so.
Oh no,
I think so.
The stall's yours.
Is Corey Feldman a pimp?
So yeah, he took the stall. Eventually, the guy answered him like, "No, man, you go ahead." But he was at first just kind of starstruck, so he wasn't saying anything. Corey's like, just has to pee. So he's like, Jesus Christ, man.
Corey Feldman is asking me if he can pee. Me.
What do I say to him?
He just panics. Goonies never say die. It's not helpful, man.
All right, man. That's hilarious.
Oh my goodness.
But anyway, yeah, I had a great time at Fantastic Fest. Shout out to the House of Cinema podcast. If you don't follow them,
follow them.
Just wonderful, wonderful people. Check their show out. Hung out with them the whole time for the most part. Saw a bunch of cool people though. And yeah, had a good time. Steve, hope you had a good time. But it's back to business now.
It's back to business.
It's back to Peen Ween. But if you want to listen to the Game of Thrones coverage, you can go to patreon.com/streaming things. You can get a variety of different rewards, including like bonus movies that we review on there twice a month, typically, except for this month because it's the live show in October. And all kinds of Game of Thrones coverage every Wednesday. All kinds of good stuff, man.
Oh, yeah.
Discord access, ad-free episodes. That's patreon.com/streaming things.
And if you're actually going to the live show, because the live show is October 5th, get your tickets. You got like a couple more days left. But if you're going to the live show, if you're listening to this and you're going to the live show and you're not in Discord, just DM me, because there are a lot of people they're
hanging out. They're getting manicures.
They're getting like a bunch of stuff together where a bunch of stream fiends are going out and hanging out over the weekend. And if you're not in Discord, you may not know that's happening, and it's a lot of fun. And if you want to take part and hang out with fellow fans of streaming things, just DM me and I can make sure I can connect you with our mods, Ricker and Casey, so they can bring you along.
They're going to paint the town red, Doja Cat style.
Doja Cat.
I said what I said. You can email the show at streamingthingspod@gmail.com. Let's get into our coverage of The Penguin, episode 2, Inside Man. We're all loving the show.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely amazing.
What we're
Love it.
Oh, no, I forgot to brush up on what we called these categories.
You don't remember?
I
How
don't.
could you not remember drops?
Drops, is that the moments?
Slush Puppies.
Drops
Slush
is-
Puppies is favorite moments.
Yeah, Slush Puppies.
Drops is the Easter eggs.
Okay.
We didn't actually come up with anything specifically for best performance, but we were calling
Pussy Boy.
the Pussy Boy.
Somebody emailed and said, while I love the idea of it being called the Pussy Boy, the Kingpin also makes sense. Penguin
That does make sense.
He uses that term. It's also a well-known term in gangster lore. So we could switch to Kingpin. I think that would be more professional.
I think we should say
The
it's
Kingpin
the
Pussy Boy?
Kingpin in parentheses the Pussy Boy.
Okay. I just thought I'd help you out with the show notes a little bit,
Sure.
So you don't have to write that every time.
Hey, once I type it out once, it's copy and paste forever, baby.
I think that's the opposite of the kind of SEO we want.
Control C, Control V every week.
Control C, Control V.
But I was looking for something really interesting, and I ended up on a podcast. Oh, the Penguin. So I listen. It's pretty funny.
Hey, we got to cast a wide net to find new listeners.
That's true. That's
Do what
true.
you got to do.
Where
Do
my
what you
pussy
gotta
boys
do.
at? Get in the comments. Where my pussy boys at?
Right here. So we'll do our overall thoughts on the Penguin episode 2, followed by our top 3 favorite moments or slush puppies, and then our Easter eggs or drops, and we'll wrap it all up with our favorite performance of the episode, the Kingpin, aka the Pussy Boy. Hatter, I'm curious what you thought of episode 2, Inside Man, overall.
So overall, the episode was absolutely amazing. Actually, better than the first one, I think.
Better than the first
I
one.
think it was better than the first one, man. It really went into Sofia. It went into her mindset, and it went into what she's going to bring onto the season, it seems like. And with everything going on with it, I know we're going to get into it a little later, but with Alberta's funeral and everything that's happened, and it just shows how big of a boss that she is going to be, and that she kind of already is. And I just fell in love with her.
You fell in love all over
I did.
I don't blame you.
I don't blame you.
No.
It's a lovely lady.
Steve, what about episode 2 for you?
Yeah, another great episode. I love how this just felt like a powder keg. Just you're just waiting for it to explode, especially like towards the latter half of the episode. You're like, I'm getting stressed out. There's a lot of tension rising. Oh my gosh, what's going on? I don't know. It's going to explode. And then I was just waiting for it all just to fall apart, you know? And like to your point, Adam, like they continue to add so much depth to all these characters, like with Sophia's PTSD and her paranoia about her stay at Arkham. And like, even though these are all quote unquote bad characters, right? Morally gray at best. They do
deplorables.
A basket of them, one would say. They do such a great job of humanizing them with like, I mean, there's a couple shots of Sophia where my heart just breaks for her.
Yeah.
And then we go to Ma Cobb, you know, the toughest broad in Gotham, you know, and just seeing her suffering. You know how I am. Like, we talked about this in our Rings of Power coverage. Like, anytime a movie or TV show kind of like goes into the whole dementia thing of a parent and a child dealing with that together, like, it breaks my heart. So what Ma Cobb's going through, I'm just like, I feel so bad for her. But then Oz, they keep adding these little flares of everyday relatability to that character. Like when he's like, you got the cilantro, now it's gonna taste like fucking soap.
Yeah.
Like shit like
soap the whole time.
Shit like that is like,
He's like, stop picking. Stop picking.
Get grubby little hands. Get out of there. I don't want grubby soap tacos. Or like when he's waving the car on later in the episode, like, listeners, like, when I lived in Bellevue, Kentucky, great town, love that town, right? It's notorious for people who are like, no, you go. No, you go. No, you go. What the fuck are we doing?
Oh, like in the car?
Yeah. Like, one of us has to cross.
He's crossing the street.
And so when he's like going, like, went through that all the time. And then the last couple things I want to shout out about this episode before we get into it is I screamed because I'm such a fangirl for Shohreh Aghdashloo. I love her so much. That's Maroni's wife, I think is
Nadia.
Nadia, yeah. I love that actress so much. She has the coolest voice ever. She's got like, it's like a deeper, husky, like, I'll do ever what I goddamn like. Like that's one of her famous lines from The Expanse. And I fucking love it. And then, I love this episode. Continues great things. Like, this show is just one of those shows where it ends and you don't want to stop watching. You're just like, yes, I will continue. Please and thank you. But I can't because that would be irresponsible for the show.
Wink. I've only seen the first 3, I swear. And I've had these screeners for like a month.
Yeah.
So I'm being a real good boy.
You are being a good boy.
Like Hatter said, I think Sofia Coppola is a great director.
Yes, fantastic director. I love
Godfather 3, best one.
Sofia Falcone is the heart of the show, which is surprising to me because, of course, Oz Cobb is incredible. Colin Farrell is out of this world good. But it's Victor Aguilar and Sofia Falcone that have like really struck me, and Kristen Milioti specifically, who I think kind of anchors this show. She has this like menace that is really entrancing to watch. But at the same time, like you said, you kind of get behind her early on because it's this there's this old guard patriarchy of people looking down on her. And everyone's scoffing at her due to her supposed issues with mental illness. And there's a bit of a mystery behind that too. And that is incredibly intriguing. And also what they've done with the character of the Penguin. You know, we talked about it a little bit last time, but I was talking to Jimmy. Who the fuck is Jimmy on the way here?
Who the fuck is Jimmy?
He just now watched the first episode because he was waiting to get back home and watch it with his wife. And which is very honorable of him, because I don't know if you've ever been in that situation where they're like, you can't watch it without me. You know, everybody knows the move is you watch it and lie, right?
I don't know. My wife knows if I watch something without her.
You got to rewind
Love you, babe,
it.
but I know you know.
She's just at home folding laundry or something, and she goes,
You watched
he
it.
did it. That son of a bitch.
I hope he wakes up in the morning.
I don't know. It sounded colder than I intended. Because this is the situation I've been in many times. Like the show Normal People, which was like, came out in 2020, I think, with Daisy Edgar Jones and Paul Mescal.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, hey, honey, I want to watch this with you. You want to watch it with me? Sure, absolutely. I'm like, okay, I won't watch it without you, even though I later became a professional TV watcher. That's how much I love it, right? I didn't watch that show until earlier this year. because I committed not to watch it without her until finally I was like, well, fuck it. This is never going to happen. So it took me 4 years to finally watch that show that everybody said was a masterpiece. And it is. I was like bawling. I was in a fetal position. I was in love. Every emotion you can imagine is in that show. Love Normal People. And that's why I don't, and that's not a
Did
rule.
it take you 4 years just because you guys couldn't line up on your schedules to watch it together?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what it was because I had made the pact to not watch it without her
Sacred pact.
that I just never watched it. And that's happened with a bunch of stuff.
And the whole time you're like, if only I got divorced,
And she,
I could catch up on Normal People.
that show would have hit harder too. But she does it too. Like I forget what we were watching. I think
She famously ruined your Red Dead Redemption playthrough.
yeah, but like the Scott Pilgrim versus the World anime, we watched like 3 episodes of that together. And then we were like, okay, let's watch it. And we didn't line up for a few days. And then like 5 days later, she's like, man, that was good. And I was like, you finished it? She's like, yeah, you did, didn't you? Like, she's like, you're a piece of shit. I know you watched it. And I was like, I really didn't. You're the asshole.
We're all in on the lie, right?
So we've just got that understanding now. But anyway, Jimmy calls me after he watches it finally. And he's like, dude, this is fucking amazing. I'm like, I know, I told you, right? And he's like, I love what they did with the character because the Cobblepots are historically very wealthy and like they rival the Waynes. And it just makes so much more sense. And it's so much more compelling that he's
Because in some
comes from poverty.
universes, Oswald Cobblepot is like childhood friends with Bruce Wayne. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's interesting, it makes way more, it's so compelling that he comes from poverty. And he's got this whole bit about this hidden mother. And, he's telling Sofia that she's dead, but he just doesn't want anybody to know where she is to protect her. And then add to that she has dementia. There's so much going on with these characters that we've never seen before, even as a lifelong fan of the Batman. I fucking love it, man. This show is incredible.
And it makes that real too. When the dementia thing.
Oh, yeah.
Just because he's pretty much denying it. And you're just like, man, that in real life, that's exactly what people do. Like they deny. Like, no, my mom's fine. She's fine. She's just a little.
Needs to look at to her records.
Exactly. Yeah.
She was just going to the store and then you fucking distracted her, asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not Sunday.
Guy, come on, who cares? I hardly know what day it is. Sometimes I come out on Thursdays, other days it's Sundays. I don't even know. I'm the penguin.
Penguin. Well, let's get into the meat of the actual episode and discuss what goes down. It starts out with a little bit of a flashback, we think, to the Hangman, aka Sofia Falcone in Arkham. And there's so much in this little bit, right? Because she's with her therapist. So we come to find out that this is some sort of like a nightmare version of a memory. It shows Alberto coming Alberto coming to visit her. And so you get like why she's so attached to her brother. He was the only one who didn't abandon her. But at the same time, I'm distracted because this therapist is wild to me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love this guy. So it's weird because he's got like an LED.
I guess it's like
Like a flashing light. And it's like, I guess it's one of those like trance things.
Yeah, it's like hypnotherapy.
Yeah, hypnotherapy.
Yeah, he's doing
But
he's
that
doing
is
like
shown in the nightmare as like the light above the cell.
Yeah.
And he's the jailer in her like dream sequence.
It's really cool.
Really well done.
They're doing a Blade Runner test on her, I think. He was just about to ask her if the turtle falls on his back. Interlinked. But the guy who plays the therapist, Dr. Julian Rush, is played by Theo Rossi, and I geeked out when I saw him as well.
Yeah, there's all kinds of good character actors in this show.
Yeah, he's Shades from Luke Cage. So and Shades was like the best character, or my favorite character from Luke Cage.
That's
when he
where I
popped up, I'm like,
recognized him.
fucking Shades!
I mean,
hell yeah.
Yeah, Sons of Anarchy too.
That's right. Yeah.
I didn't watch that show.
Yeah. I only watched a few episodes of it, but what I watched was
him.
I recognize him. Yeah, I recognize people sometimes.
But do you think there's a little bit of is it an inappropriate therapist relationship?
Yes, definitely.
That's what I'm saying.
Hardcore.
This motherfucker has got his like legs and arms wrapped around her and his face up against, and I'm like, I've never been in an actual therapy sesh.
I know there's such
in person.
I know there's
I don't
such
think they
things
do that.
as
like hug
safety holds. Like
Okay.
if someone is a danger to themselves,
choke them out.
You don't choke them out, but you
Guillotine.
you put them in the Cobra clutch.
Go to sleep.
Go to Taz mission. And then you hit him with a figure 4 afterwards. Sure. You just got to be careful if they turn you, if they flip you over in the figure 4, the pressure's on you now. You got to worry about that. All right.
Who's your therapist, Ken Shamrock?
Yeah. No, he went for the ankle. He was doing the ankle lock. Yeah. But yeah, there are safety holds. But so when he initially started doing that, I'm like, is he doing an inappropriate safety hold? But then I don't know. I was getting like, I don't know about this therapist.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's played by Shade, so there's clearly something going on.
Icky
here.
therapy
There's
vibes.
something going on.
Look, my note is I don't think he's supposed to touch her.
No,
right.
definitely not.
His name is Dr. Julian Rush. I saw that on his little desk there. But he's trying to tell her, you're safe. You know, it's just a nightmare, whatever.
I did like how he's like, just look at my books, and it cuts to his desk with his name center frame. Like, we know who he is now.
Yeah.
In the illustrated Harry Potter series, sitting there, like, what does that have to fucking do with anything? But she's like, I'm not safe. I'm home. Ooh.
That was a great line.
Trauma. Talking about trauma right there. Speaking of therapy. Then we cut to the Penguin drinking Pepto in his car. He's a nervous Nelly. He's not doing well right now.
Got them ulcers.
Yeah, he's got a meeting.
Them ulcers in the belly.
He's back at Blackgate to meet with the entire Maroney family now. This is where we meet Nadia.
I love how Blackgate's just like, yeah, you guys can use the conference
I know.
room
to discuss illegal
The
things.
whole damn family's there.
Well, he's Maroney.
Oh, I know he's Maroney.
He's
I get it.
He's
got
paying
the
all
pool.
those guards. Yeah. And he's prevaricating, though. I think that's an applicable word.
The streets are talking again.
Yeah.
Listen, Sal, the streets, they're talking.
He doesn't want to take the claim for killing Alberto just yet. What if I just give him your name? Because you know, fuck you is what I was thinking earlier. That's what I'm thinking. And he's like, nah, everybody already thinks it was you. You're wearing the ring around here. You're gloating. You might as well lean in. The Penguin's good at what he does.
God,
He is.
so good at what he does.
Carmine's
His-
brother Luca's running things now. He's a pussy.
But I got his ear.
My mom calls him a pussy boy. I think it's funny. Yeah, but I got his ear. He listens to me. Now, literally, it's in my pocket. It's weird.
It's like right here.
You want to play with it?
It was like a goddamn Van Gogh. Cut that shit off and I carry it around.
So he proposes to rob the Drops route as they're moving things to Robbinsville, and tells them the whole plan. We're using a FEMA truck as cover. It's going to be in like water barrels. It's just going to be full of drops. And you guys can rob it, take everything. I'll be in the follow car. Don't hit that.
Don't fucking touch that. Don't you touch that car.
I'll be in there.
That's my car.
Yeah.
You don't fucking touch it.
It should be purple.
Same side.
Same side.
Same side.
We on the same
team.
side.
Same team. I love you, Shorag Dajlu. Good to see you.
And Nadia says he's a dog, but a dog can be trained, right? So she kind of convinces Sal Maroney to go along with this. And then we cut to him loading up the FEMA truck to go on the route. He's got his whole plan going into motion.
I love that little bit when he walks up to Castillo, because last episode Castillo was the guy putting the piano wire around his arm and shit.
It's all
And
his
he's
arm
Cut his
off.
off.
hey man, same team. We good.
Yeah, no hard feelings.
Hey.
And
No
Castillo's like,
problem, Oz.
sure,
No
Oz.
problem, Oz. We good. Even though he's looking at him like, oh God, it's good fucks.
he's like, I'll definitely do that again if told to.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure, whatever. The torture guy he went to apologize to.
I'm sorry that you tortured me.
That's my
It's
bad.
fine. That's my bad.
Honestly,
I fucked up.
yeah, I got you a friendship bracelet. I'm a big Taylor fan.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, she's
Swifty.
the voice of an angel.
That's true. You're not wrong. Folklore is my favorite.
Oh, I love it. Nice.
Yeah. Couldn't get tickets to the Eras tour though. I told Carmine, I said, Carmine, hook me up.
The Falcons, they don't know what they got.
But I'm not
they
a
got
big-
box seats to the Eras tour.
They don't know what they got.
Because they've always had
Because they've always had it. All the way back to Springsteen. I mean,
Oh my god. It's so fun to do the penguin voice.
but Johnny comes out, fucking Johnny.
Johnny Viti.
Wants him on the truck with the product, right? This is your operation. Get the fuck on the truck. So the Penguin's whole plan, he's like, shit. He's got to think on his feet. And he gets right in the truck, and now he's in the danger zone. And that song plays, which is weird.
And then we got a goddamn legend driving the truck. Fucking Ray is a legend, because that guy, they're going, they're
of
about
the
to do
seagulls and the
drug
bagels?
drops, and he's
Oh
like,
my God.
hey, you guys got a great joke. What's the difference between a seagull? Why do seagulls fly over the sea? Because they flew over the bay, there'd be bagels. Hey!
Oh my God.
Penguin's like, you got to know your audience.
Yeah.
Let's do a mafia joke. Right?
What's the difference between the mafia and the government? One of them is organized.
You see, you got to know your audience, Ray.
Yeah. And then the Maronis hit the truck right at that moment. They start, spraying Uzis in all the cars except for the follow car.
Dude, I was so mad when Ray got hit. I was like,
know.
no.
But Ray survives for a second.
He does.
But he sees Penguin being a traitor.
You fucking rat.
Yeah.
No wonder you didn't like my jokes.
And then he shoots Ervat instead of the Penguin, and the Penguin has to kill. It's crazy. He's killing all kinds of Falcone people. And then he has to split second decide to get back in with the Falcones because he sees Castillo fighting like one of the remaining Maronis. But there's a Falcone truck pulling, probably the follow car he was supposed to be in.
Yeah.
And he's like, fuck it. And then he saves Castillo's life and gets in with the Falcones and takes off. But the Maronis do get the drops.
Can we talk about the song that's playing while they're in the truck?
Sure.
Call Me Irresponsible by Frank Sinatra. When that song's playing and he's freaking shooting everybody and everybody's getting shot, I was loving it. My freaking ear-to-ear grin, just like, this is amazing. You got Frank Sinatra, like, who wasn't in the mafia, who wasn't part of organized crime.
Hey, don't say that.
Playing with organized crime. Oh my God, it was absolutely it.
And he's part of the Rat Pack.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Your pseudo realization stings. But they're back at the mansion of the Falcones. Like, I love the bit where the guy's like telling this, because you know how that's how it would be. Oh, it's fucking crazy, and I saved it, and Castillo would be fucking dead if it wasn't for Oz.
And then a fucking transformer came in and we took that down too. Oh yeah, we did it. It turned into a car first, so it looks like a car now.
Yeah.
But man, we did it because we big men. We're not pussy boys.
He was like, roll out, and we shot him. Because it'd be Autobots, because they're more Decepticon people. But Sofia comes home. Dude's telling the story.
The Penguin is shipping drugs to the Decepticons.
These drops are fire.
We have to stop him from getting the Allspark.
He's trying
That's the new type of high that they're looking for.
Is the new type
They're going to huff the Allspark. Till all are one.
Starscream makes much more sense now. It's fucking blazed out of his mind.
I mean, they all have red eyes, all the Decepticons.
That's true.
There's fucking...
Did you know? Hold up. This is funny that we were actually talking about. So at Fantastic Fest, Sydney Volpe was talking about these Transformers that they like have in the canon from the cartoon. Mm-hmm. There's a woman, there's a lady Transformer named Discharge. Were you aware of this?
Swear to God,
I
no.
vaguely know this.
And there's a dude one named Erector.
Oh, I know Erector, yeah.
And he's got this giant like crane coming out of his crotch. This crane arm. What the fuck, Transformers?
You imagine being that artist back then, like, look at this, is gonna be so funny. What do we call this guy? I know, Erector.
It's wild, dude.
Yeah, they're. Oh God,
that's the one they were fighting.
Man, the 80s were a time to be alive.
Oh my God, why are you showing me this?
Let us get away with it.
Come on.
That's a penis.
But then again, who does?
What? Just Blade Runner. You just did another Blade Runner reference. Then again, who does?
It's always on my mind. So, anyway. Oz is in there yelling at Johnny, like, hey, it was fucking crazy. I barely got out of there alive. And Johnny's like, why'd you let the product get away? And then Sofia steps in. Why the fuck are you guys so upset about the money? What about the blatant disrespect that's happening? They murdered my brother, and you guys you're doing fuckboy shit. Obviously, there's an inside man because they knew about the route. They knew about my brother's location. There's something going on, and you guys are fucking around, right? And she's every bit correct.
Yeah.
But I love the bit where the Penguin's always off to the side, like, yeah, that's right. It's a good point.
Good point.
Yep.
Tell him. Listen to her.
You should tell him. Mm-hmm. She's saying fire shit right now.
Yeah, she's like, the Penguin like pops up behind her, like, oh shit.
Her hype man in the back, like, that's right. Get it, Sophia. Get him. Get it, Sophia.
Got his ass.
Boom. Gotcha, bitch.
Tell him. And because
Soldier Boy tell him?
that supports him. Yeah. He is a soldier of the Falcone Mafia. But then Luca makes Johnny apologize because he kind of shits all over Sofia. Mm-hmm. He's very disrespectful just because she's a woman, but she is also a Falcone, one of the prime Falcones, right?
Yeah.
Did you say prime? And
Sorry, I've been huffing all spark.
And Luca tells Sofia to stay behind. And he's like, look, you're getting in a little too deep, right? We're going to get revenge. We're going to do what needs to be done, but I'm in charge of the when and how. And she kind of claps back at him. And he's like, I'm going to forgive that because you're grieving. But I think it's time you step out of town, right? You need to go to Italy. And that's the whole kind of theme of her leaning towards what eventually happens. But
Man, I wish I was in a family where if I'm having like a bad day, they're like, hey, why don't you go to Italy?
Yeah.
Why don't you just go to Italy?
And stay there for as long as you need to.
Yeah, as long as you need to.
and
It's
then you
fun
don't
there.
want to.
It's
I
like,
know.
ugh, again?
God, I want to stay here in my room,
I want to stay in
in the closet.
I want to stay in this shithole.
The way I feel about Gatlinburg is how I would love to feel about Italy.
Not
Like,
again.
I don't want to go there again.
All they got is the ski lift and
Jesus.
some trails.
I mean, once you like end up going to the Titanic Museum there, then it's like, well, what else do you do?
Ripley's Believe It or Not. Over it. Get fudge
Lame.
in that taffy place.
That's happy is good.
That's right.
You guys want to go to Gatlinburg?
No.
Just turn off the pod and go.
Smoky Mountains. No.
Smoky Mountains.
Oz offers to help Sofia find the inside man, and it clicked for me. Now, I think a lot of criticisms of this show, if and when they exist, I'm sure they do, they're probably going to point out to like a derivative pastiche of other gangster movies and shows.
Sure.
Which it is. I just don't care.
Yeah, exactly. It's done so well.
Because this is very The Departed, right? You know, like the mole looking for himself and the constant Uncut Gems level tension of bouncing on that razor wire of everybody's looking, you know, the Maronis are looking for him, the Falcones are looking for him, the cops are looking for him. It's very...
A Batman might be eventually looking for him.
Batman's around. You know, he's just busy right now.
That's always a card they can play on this show.
I feel
At
like
any point,
Batman
it's just
is
a Batman.
really... Batman's laying sandbags like with FEMA. You know, he's handing out like sandwiches and stuff. Not paying for any of it.
He's giving people those like foil blankets.
Wrapping them up.
Yeah.
Batman, do you realize you could just end all of this with your money without putting the suit on?
Well, I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I gotta put up some sandbags.
You teach a man to fish. No. Where's the trigger?
God, yeah, he could.
He could.
He could.
He could
really
build
could.
new dams, whatever needs to be done. But that's not as fun. I kind of get that. But yeah, so he offers to help find himself, right? He's like, you know, you loved Alberto. I loved him too. Let's team up. And Sofia, she's just like, I don't fucking like you, dude. And we find out soon they've got baggage. They've got history, but we'll get into that later. He tries to convince her that she needs to take over, right? And she sniffs out his bullshit because Luca kind of clued us into her character. You've always had a nose for shit. And she does. She's always highly suspicious of Oz. She's the one that snuffed out that there's an inside man. She's very
She even
clever.
tells him, like, it's very convenient that you're on my side all of a sudden.
Yeah, you always say the right things, right? And she's like, I don't owe you shit. And he says, you're right. I owe you. Remember I gave you that note? He said 3 letters.
That's what it meant. Out of context, I can see where you might not know what 3 letters means.
You probably thought it said EOU.
You've been in Arkham for a while. You probably don't understand texting. I'll let you know what BRB means. LOL, that's laugh out loud. I owe you. Like, say it.
Sometimes they're not laughing out loud when they say that.
If you ever get
They're just acknowledging you were trying to be funny.
if you ever get a raffle, that was a good thing. That means they're rolling on the floor with laughter.
I love
if you get a raffle
people. Can you imagine
copter.
people texting that? Oh, that was funny. LOL. Because you know they are not laughing at all. They're like, LOL. That was
LOL.
funny.
No. If you just say a lowercase LOL, you didn't laugh.
I mean, the Penguin texts that constantly, but fucking prick. Like LOL.
Every time Eve texts him, you know what I mean?
Right.
Give you a foot massage tonight, honey? LOL.
Raffle.
No, you
Raffle
won't.
copter.
No, you won't. Rafflecopter?
You ever heard Rafflecopter?
No, there's a helicopter of
It's
rolling on the floor laughing.
When you're rolling on the floor laughing so much, it just goes round and round like a helicopter.
Like Ray Gun,
What's Ray Gun?
the Australian breakdancer at the Olympics.
Oh, yeah, like Ray Gun, yeah.
That would be a
Number one in the
Rafflecopter.
world.
That would be okay. Interesting. So yeah, he says, I owe you, right? And that gets her for a second before she kind of storms off. So there's something there. We find out soon. Oz is venting to Victor, right? These motherfuckers trying to push me out. They're always yelling at me and stuff.
Assholes.
Yeah, plus my shoes don't feel good.
Gotta waddle all over the goddamn town.
Yeah. Vic notices the missing after the flood flyer that's posted up on the telephone pole there.
Ooh.
Kind of makes him pause for a second.
Missing before the flood. That's what it said.
Oh, really? Like it was just someone's missing?
Yeah, it was missing before the flood. And what he noticed, the girl is kind of like put it out there, missing before the flood, November 5th.
Oh, that's weird.
I'm pretty sure it said before the
Who's
flood.
that girl?
Her last name's Austin, but it covers up the first name.
Really? I didn't pause it or look or do my job at all.
Yeah.
I paused it and I was like, I don't know.
You paused it to look or just said, fuck it.
Yeah, I did.
We'll find out.
Yeah, it says last scene. It said last scene before the flood, Robbinsville subway 11:05.
Remember,
That's
the
the
5th
problem
of
with
November.
That's the problem with shows like this, because sometimes if I see something in the background, I'm like pause and I'm trying to think about it. I'm like, I'm just enjoying the show too much. I'm like, I gotta keep going.
Oh man, I did that so much. I paused and I'm sitting there. Oh, concentrate. But what comes next? Something comes next. I gotta do it. Whatever.
Steve podcasts about TV like he's watching the show with his girlfriend, you know? We'll find out. Stop asking questions.
just watch the show.
That's not really good policy, but
Watch the show, damn it.
this episode's 3 minutes long. It's just Steve going, just watch the show.
Just watch the show.
But yeah, sees the flyer. I don't know what's going on there. And I love that they're still talking about Sofia and what a problem she is in the apartment. And then, Vic starts to stutter and Oz goes, I know what you're thinking, kid. We can't kill her. And he's like, wait, what?
Those are the best quotes of the show.
I wasn't thinking that at all.
And you got a taste for it now. You're cutting off pinkies and heads. Now you're out of control, Vic. I know how you are.
I know what you're thinking, kid. We can't kill her.
We're not
I
the
love that. Without a freaking beat, he just says that line. Oh my God.
But he's like, the only thing we can do, we got to give her an inside man. We got to frame somebody, right? And then we get the whole, I told you no cilantro. By the way, why is he serving tacos at his fuck party? That doesn't seem like a good idea.
Tacos is one of the top 10 sexiest foods you can serve.
Tacos
people.
are an aphrodisiac.
Yeah, they are.
Refried beans.
But you could tell they wasn't Taco Bell tacos, so I think they'd be good.
No, they were gourmet tacos,
They
but
were definitely
still,
gourmet.
I think at a fuck party, you serve like
Dips.
liquor-filled watermelon bites, maybe some pineapple.
Ooh.
Lots of pineapple.
Did you go to Diddy's parties?
I'm just saying if I was hosting and or catering, no.
A fuck party. Baby oil, pineapple, baby oil, pineapple.
If I was hosting and or catering, it would be a lot of fresh fruit. And that's pretty, vegetables make you gassy. You don't want to do too much of that. Maybe some cheese, maybe.
Not even a cucumber?
Cheese, a lot of meat, a lot of mince.
Mince?
Yeah, mince.
Oh, mince. Okay.
Because you eat the cheese, if it's Munster or something,
Yeah.
You want to throw in an icebreaker or something after that.
Icebreaker. Anybody still use icebreakers anymore?
That's the first thing I can think of. Andy does. Andy's always got a box sitting here.
Yeah. The boys are all about icebreakers.
Remember Listerine strips when we were kids?
yeah.
Take a bunch of those.
Yeah.
Trip balls.
It goes along with the Visine.
Yeah.
Versus Visine.
Yeah. Then it's Listerine
strips.
Yeah.
Then it gets you right in. Meth.
I don't know. I just feel like I wouldn't go tacos. Maybe some.
I do. It is an odd choice because it's a fuck party for his his girls and
his friends.
The Falcone guys.
Yeah.
Falcone guys.
His Falcronies.
His Falcrones. Yeah, I like that.
Falcronies,
I like
that is awesome.
I'm pretty good.
You think they'd get there and be like, well, we getting this taco shit. Let's get what?
Literally.
Where's the Popeye's chicken?
Popeye. Definitely not fried chicken.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Mac and cheese. Who's got the mac and cheese?
I'm just hungry for
And he would stir it.
I just want
That's what I'm going to be doing to you later. Macaroni in a pot. See what I'm saying? Wop.
Wow.
It's not. It doesn't mean what you think. Falcone, don't be angry. It's WAP.
Hey, Sophia, WAP is an abbreviation for wet ass pussy. If you gotta text that, you gotta know. Yeah.
One time.
Go on.
Some bullies pushed me in a pool. And my mom said, the wet ass pussy boy. I'm glad you laughed because I was like, oh, this is an edit point, Joe.
Nope.
This is an edit point joke coming out right now. Nope. I've already started.
Can't go back now.
I'm glad it landed.
I love it when you have that little hair up your ass. Like, oh, I'm going to make a joke, but Steve's definitely editing it.
I'm just going to go for it. But yeah, we cut to Sofia in a cab, I think, or, you know, she's in her limo or whatever. She's got her driver there. And on the radio, there's an anchor talking about, I can't believe we're letting all the psychos out of Arkham, talking about Sofia Falcone. And she's like, no, leave it on. I love this shit.
Mm-hmm. Crime up 42% since the flood.
Yeah. Haters only make me stronger. Mm-hmm. That's right.
Because Batman's doing the FEMA thing with the blankets. He's just not fighting crime.
Maybe that's like the in-universe reason for why Batman hasn't shown up yet. Is just crime is just 42%. It's exploding. So, and he's just one man. You know, he's just one Batman.
Yeah, but he's too busy like sharing people's GoFundMes on Twitter, even though he's a billionaire.
People get the help they need.
Please donate whatever you can. I'm doing what I can.
The Wayne Foundation won't.
We can't do it.
How else will I get a cool Batman car? I can't help the poor. I gotta help get a new airplane.
Yeah, he can't do it. He's Vengeance. Vengeance doesn't donate.
I'm Vengeance.
But you know, we get Oz telling the story about Pinchy, who, you know, when he was barbacking at the Blue Heron.
Oh, Pinchy.
He didn't even know how to drive when he was offered the job of being Pinchy's driver. So he's trying to inspire young Vic at this point. Like, hey, I stole a Buick. I went around all weekend crashing that shit all over the place, and I taught myself how to drive.
Did you?
I know. That's what I'm saying. You crashed it, and then you're like, Monday, hey, I'm ready to drive you without any accidents.
I got the crashing out of the way. You only crash once, and you learn. That's just the story about life. So he stole the Buick, he taught himself, and then Pinchy got pinched.
Pinchy got pinched?
He was only with Pinchy for a couple of months, but that's his like in to the Falcone family.
Yeah, Carmine liked him.
Carmine saw something in me, right? It wasn't cilantro, I'll tell you that. And
hey, this kid looks like he's 55. Let's get him a job.
This episode of Streaming Things is sponsored by BetterHelp.
BetterHelp.
You know, Steve, there's something I need to get off my chest.
What's that, fella?
It's been weighing on me. You know that I resigned at the day job recently, right? And I've been a little scared. There's a family to worry about. There's health insurance. There's capitalism.
Sounds like a stressful time.
But we all carry around different stressors, big and small. And it feels better when you bring something to the light and keep them bottled up. It can start to affect us negatively. And therapy is a safe space to get things off your chest and to figure out how to work through whatever's weighing you down. In my case, it's all of the stress, the misery, the fear. But I had to come over here and share that with you, and I felt better. You know, that's a real thing that happened.
Yeah.
Unloading all that on you and Erica and feeling better myself.
That sounds like my Friday night.
Sometimes you just need somebody to listen. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. If you're not vibing, that's completely fine. So get it off your chest with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/streamingthings to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/streamingthings.
It's September, and you know what that means. Fall is right around the corner, and this time of year always makes me pause and reflect on everything that I have to be thankful for, that we have to be thankful for at Streaming Things. And you know, it's been an incredible journey with the podcast. We're going to have our very first live show on October 5th next month, and honestly, we couldn't have done it without each and every one of you, our listeners, our supporters, and our friends. We are so grateful for all of you who tune in, share the show, and most importantly, support us on Patreon. Your love and generosity helps keep this show alive, growing, and becoming something even bigger. And speaking of support, we have to give a massive shout out to all of our patrons, but especially our super patrons for the month of September. So thank you, Bing Bang Boom, Albus Stinkpot, Dylan Dunkley, Maddlestat, Susie Callahan, Anthony Corona, Parmesan, Sunshine, Lady Trashley, Milady, Just Liz Calabria, Mike from New Hampshire, Brett X, E Scramo, Lil Tickler, Svento7, J Scramo, Gramo, Loftpum, A.K. Ashley Ray, Adam Busby, Big Butthorn, Conrad, Jerlatanowicz, Kaylee Sampson, Rabbit Dog in a Barbie Car, Elbander, Charlie Friday, Alexis Adler, Peaches, Emmy, Haley B, Joe Velez, Stan Valentino, Trisha Bueller, Sun-Loving Mortal, Suzanne Rode, Jen Robinson, Kloop, Kalisha Reeves, Paula Garcia, Brenda Bren, Aaron Armstrong, Kevin Strother, Ashley Powers, Stephen V, Casey McCain, and of course, Enza. Thank you all so much, and let's get back to the show.
At this point, the girls arrive for the taco party, and it's Eve.
The taco party, huh? Yeah.
It's Eve and all of her girls.
Sorry.
And then we cut to this dirty cop, this detective who's looking for drops at a local bar, but because of the drop Maroney incident, they're a little more scarce already. The pipeline dried up quick. Mm-hmm. And Sofia approaches him, gives him some drops, and
Rough
she says,
night, detective.
"Hey, you used to be really good at finding snakes in the grass for my father. You were particularly good at it. I need you to do that again."
And there's a snake in my boot.
He doesn't want any part of her, but he wants the drops.
Yeah.
I love this bit. This is where I decided that Kristen Milioti is the star of this show, because the scene where you can do them now. You want to do them now? Do them now.
Do him now.
Because it's like he's a junkie. He wants, and that's how it is. You're like, oh, thank you. But also, I don't care about anything else you have to say now. And she knows that, right? So go ahead and do them. Relax a little bit. Get the jitters off. Stop withdrawing. And then we can talk. We can talk business. But she can't use the family to find the rat because it's someone in the family. We've all been there.
Keep it in the family.
Oz is having this lit party, celebrating their fallen friends. He's entertaining all of his fellow Falcons that were on this operation with him, the ones that survived. And Roxy, who works for Eve, meets Vic. And she's a cam girl, specializes in fetish, a lot of domination, sometimes stuff with a cake. You like cake, kid?
I love how the
You got a sweet tooth?
I love how Oz is like, "Hey Roxy, I want you to meet my friend Victor. He's the guy who fucked up the taco order."
He's the guy that fucked up the taco order.
He's awesome.
But before that, he's explaining it. He's toasting to Alberto and everybody that he was directly responsible for their deaths.
Yeah.
And then he looks at Vic, and Vic's just like, you can tell, he just feels like,
uncomfy.
You can tell he feels like shit. Yeah. He
I
just
cut
like,
off his pinky.
Okay, yeah. And then that's when he's like, Roxy, come here. Meet the taco fucker up order guy.
Meet this kid. He fucks up tacos. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
She asks him where he's from, and he says Crown Point, and she's really rude. Oh man, that's a no man's land. I heard literally everyone that was there died. Hope you didn't know anybody there. That'd be really sad.
Yeah.
I heard, like, it's fucked up. Like slowly too. I heard they died real slow, and they were poor before that, which is awful.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, their life sucked, and then they died.
That's where you're from.
horribly.
That's crazy.
The graduation rate there was like 10%.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah. And more
Before
than that,
the flood.
everyone that lives there wasn't cool to hang out with.
Yeah.
They were just like losers.
Yeah. Anyway, that's crazy you live there.
That's called frown joint now. Because it's so sad.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And then she says, "How do you know Oz?" Like, everybody keeps asking him that throughout this show because it's such a weird pairing.
It is.
Vic, who's just like this sweet kid, and then Oz cop, right? But Oz is in his room, which is like a vault safe, bunker, looking at Johnny's pictures, who we later find out who that is. Doesn't matter at this moment. But they're sexy pics. Mm-hmm. Old Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
Getting his Johnny's off.
Getting his VD in there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then
the old VD, baby.
And Eve calls Oz out on his bullshit. "I know that you killed Alberto Falcone. And I know that's why you wanted an alibi from me. You're getting me roped in with some bullshit I don't want to be involved in. I'm pretty upset." And he tells her about, "I'm not. I'm going to put it all on Johnny." And she's like, "Johnny VD's untouchable. Nobody's untouchable." And she's like, "Yeah, neither are you." Right? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. And he mostly convinces her.
Oh, choose only the foot. Didn't think about that.
The twine tables have twined.
Didn't think about that.
He mostly convinces her, and we assume they have sex, right? A little bit of coitus.
Yeah, probably a little bit of coitus.
A little bit of coitus. Minor coitus.
Hold on, Tal. Let me put on Aqua Breeze or whatever.
Aqua Paradise.
Aqua Paradise.
Aqua Paradise. Let me spray some of that.
I like to.
Baby blue skies, doll. You just got to trust me.
Sofia wakes from another nightmare. This scene was a little, even though I've seen it twice, did she like scratch herself in the nightmare?
Well, you think seems like she couldn't breathe. They were like choking her. She was trying to get something off of her throat. It kind of seems that way. But
like
then
a face hugger kind of situation?
Yes.
They get tighter when you pull.
She stayed up late watching Alien Romulus, and then she just had a nightmare.
Everybody's been there.
It was so sad because she's sleeping in her closet.
Yeah.
She feels safer.
Because you almost like, because when she wakes up and you're like, oh, that's not a room you would think of being in the Falcone home that you see from the beautiful
Yeah, it's
outside.
the size of my bedroom.
Yeah, you're like, there's no way. There's no way. And then she opens the door and you're like,
Oh, poor girl.
yeah. And you're like, oh, there's a lot going on with her.
Oz pays Eve a lot of money, so much that she's like, this is a little much, right? I didn't put it down like that. And he's like, nah, I know, but.
No, but you had to sleep with me, so there you go.
But he knows to keep his friends fat and happy, right? Mm-hmm. Like she already says she knows that he killed Alberto Falcone. He's a smart guy. Like he wants her to be very loyal.
Same
So
team?
keep it.
Same team?
Same team?
Same team.
Same team.
And then the man guarding his mom is the way I thought of it, but it's actually like the landlord calls him. And he's like, I got to go work stuff, right? I love the bit where Ma Cobb looks at Vic and goes, oh, you're the nurse, right? And he's like, no.
Kind of. Yeah.
There's a bit in this scene. So the whole context of this scene is that she has severe dementia. She often doesn't take her medicine. It's getting worse. She got dressed up and was angry that the landlord wouldn't take her to church, right? That's the setting of this scene. However, there's a bit where the landlord speaks Spanish to Oswald. Mm-hmm. Who speaks it back, who's fluent apparently in Spanish. And I 100% think they just wrote this in because there's a scene in the Batman where he corrects Batman's Spanish and it's super goofy. And now it's like, see?
He knows Spanish. Fluent the whole time.
Did he speak Spanish in the first episode, like briefly?
He did.
Or so?
Well, he understood it.
He understood like someone
this.
spoke Spanish to him, like was it his drops warehouse when he was like going to work?
Maybe. I didn't catch that.
It was very quick. Like someone spoke Spanish to him and he understood.
He understood
it. But I do that. I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, it can.
No, but I 100% think that's just to cover that up, right? Or is that dumb?
No, I think that's accurate. Yeah, because we've already established that he knows Spanish.
Yada yada or whatever it is, you know.
El Raptor.
Oh, wasn't that so? When we tried to do the QR code, like see the true face of Gotham. And then the QR code wasn't live
People
when we
eventually
tried
did
it.
get in, yeah.
People did get in, and it was Larada, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it was that. Was
Oh, there's no dick pics? Damn.
No. It was disappointing, really. That's right. When we were doing it, it probably wasn't like activated. Yeah. That's true.
That's why.
So true.
Yeah, but I'm glad that other people, they wrote in and let us know what it was.
I'm glad you guys had fun.
Yeah, glad you had fun.
We tried for 10 damn minutes.
Yeah. But yeah, Mom thought it was mass day. You know, he pays off the landlord.
I'll pay you for your medical advice, Caesar.
Yeah, he's got like doctor advice all of a sudden.
You're the dog whisperer. All right, get out of here.
He puts on a jazz album and dances with his mother to calm her down. Beautiful. And we see, again, more about what drives Oz because his mother is pretty mean, you know, like in an abusive way. Mm-hmm. If my son's a nothing, what am I? You know?
Oh, God.
No, that's a cold line.
We got time, Ma? Yeah, tell it to my headstone.
Nah, don't start that shit.
Ma,
come on, Ma.
What are you showing me here? But then Vic, he's like, hey, the funeral's starting, right? And then, hey, I won't let you down, Ma.
They're really late because Vic's like, hey, it's starting. And then he shows up. It's over.
Well, it's basically, it's New York-ish, right? It's Jersey really is the best comparison. But, it takes a while to get around town and park. Vic's not a very experienced driver.
He's like,
he takes the tunnel.
You take the tunnel, get stuck in traffic. The traffic. Come on, what are you doing in the traffic?
What are you doing?
Should have let a Crown Point kid drive.
Nah, Frown Point.
Crown Pointers don't know anything. Frown joint.
Remember what Roxy said? A bunch of losers over there.
Yeah. Can't even order tacos.
But yeah, this is the part where he's like trying to get up to the funeral and like the car stops and he's trying to wave the car. He's like, come on. It's frustrated.
You're right. It's so brilliant that they put that little moment in because that's how being alive is. Especially when you're in a hurry, you always get dumb shit like that. And it's funny because it's Oz Cobb doing that shit. But there's protesters of the Falcone family there. That's worth taking note of that. And also, he's not able to give the photos of Johnny and Luca's wife to Luca.
Yeah.
So he's got to think on his feet. Yet again, his best laid plans are always getting twisted and turned at the last second there. Because he missed the funeral because of his mother, he couldn't give the photos to Luca. Right? Mm-hmm. And then he sees Sofia smoking alone. So he's like, all right, plan F. Here we go.
Not a fan of crowds.
And then he comes up and he's like, real nice service, though. Real nice service. And she's like, I didn't see you in there, right? So he pretends that he was there for the funeral. Nah, I was in the back crying a bunch.
I would have hated this.
Yeah, I would have hated this. Yeah, he would have left halfway through.
And she says he would have found a better party. Yeah. And he tells a story about his brothers. Jack and Benny, we do know for sure, are dead, right? We didn't even have a service for my brothers. And, he tells the story about how his mother wouldn't get out of bed for a month due to her grief. And then one day she got up all dolled up, took him to Monroe's jazz club. They danced all night.
You danced with your mother?
And that was it.
With your mother?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's just the way she was.
Did a little spider walk down with my hand? I'm kidding.
I wasn't going to be a pussy boy. I was going to dance with my mom.
That's right. And she died a few years back. But he tries to, he's given this and I think he's kind of, he's manipulating always, but I think a huge part of him is sincere when he gives her this advice, right? About not letting grief take over your life. It's more fun to dance.
It's a hell of a lot more fun to dance. I love that line.
May I have this dance? No, it's literally the funeral.
There's no music.
Come on. Oh, yeah. Throw it in. Put on WAP.
Again, that's an abbreviation for wet ass pussy.
Yeah, I'm not calling you anything. Yeah. Wow.
I know if we say that around a family, that could go poorly.
I guess it's offensive either way.
Yeah.
Anyway, and he brings back up the idea of her taking over the family. He's like, what I said before, I meant it. And she just kind of nods because Castillo has come to get her, says there's a phone call for her. We got to go back to the house. And then you can hear him whisper. The detective says he's got something. At that same moment, Oz gets a text. We need to meet from a number that's not saved in his phone. We find out that it's Nadia. So Cop brings Ervat, the guy who met Oz at Blackgate Prison that works for the Maronis, like their top capo.
We thought he was shot by Ray, the legend.
Well, he was.
He was, definitely.
Well, like
but he's
killed.
alive.
I meant killed by Ray, the legend.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's very much alive.
Tis a flesh wound.
Tis but a flesh wound.
Maybe if I was shot by someone not Ray, I'd be dead.
Come back here, I'll bite your legs off. It's the Maroni who's still alive, right? And she says, when he wakes up, find me. Because the cop, again, he's like a junkie. He's like, told me to find stuff. I found stuff. This guy's got all the information right there. So he's good now. Like he's just got all that money and all those drugs. And he's like, haha, did it.
Yeah, he kind of seemed like he went over the top for more drugs. He definitely like, because you could have brought a folder, a file, some of the porn from the first episode.
Well, if you think about it, if he'd have just waited until they woke up at the hospital and asked them who it was, he would have said Oz Cobb. You know what I mean? Like it'd have been better for everybody.
Right.
He just like drunkenly brought him the whole guy. And you go.
Yeah, because he was flying.
He's a
he was
sleepy
flying
boy,
when he
though.
dropped. He's a sleepy boy. When the morphine wears off, he'll be
She
all right.
yanks the IV out.
I wish we could have seen him smuggling Ervat out of the hospital.
Oh, that would have been so
Just
great.
this like dude high on drops, like just like running with the dude. Get away from me.
He's a detective. He probably said, I'm going to escort him to somewhere more safe. I don't know. He couldn't do that because that.
Why are you dragging him on the ground by holding his hand? And he's just like
His
dragging
ankle.
his ankle.
I'd like to say he put him in a wheelchair with a blanket over him, like, this is my sick mother, and I gotta take
got one
her
of them.
out of here.
One of them put like ET style, put a wig on him.
Lipstick. Pick a lipstick.
Official police business coming through.
Your ma has a full beard.
Yeah. Nah.
Yeah, nah, she hadn't shaved this morning.
Just gotta do that every day. Gotta stay up on it.
But it's Nadia, one of the heads of the Maroni crime family, that had texted Oz. And she says, hey, one of our men is missing from the hospital. We just saw that guy. And she tells him, you broke your word, and almost has him stabbed to death. And he's like, hold up. Don't stab me.
Check my pocket.
Check my fucking coat pocket.
No, not that one.
So this scene brought a difference in the families to me, because Nadia, being a woman in an organized crime family, is the top. They listen to her.
Oh, yeah.
All the respect in the world. But then you get Sofia Falcone, who, she was in Arkham and everything, but she's technically, per order of family, supposed to be like the top person in the Falcone family because her dad died, her older brother died, and now it's her. But she's so disrespected in the Falcone family. But then you look at Nadia, who is so respected in the Maroni family. And you notice that back in prison when Salvatore listened to her without a question, listen to her. So I'm like, I don't know if it's just the different families.
No, that's true. She commands more respect.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's because she's older and she's the mother, she's the matriarch of the family. But it's just, to me, it was just like, well, there's a difference in
A
family
huge
there.
part of Sophia's disrespect is misogyny, I think, but also coupled with the fact that she spent a decade in Arkham. So they also think she's loopy, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's, what were you going to say, Steve?
The Maronis are for everyone. That's all I was saying.
By the people, for the people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so she almost stabs him. Then he gives them.
I love that. She almost stabs him. That's fine.
He gives them the photos of Johnny and Luca's wife. And he's like, I'm going to squeeze them one by one. That's just a cherry on the iceberg, whatever the fucking expression is. I know you don't need
Think
iceberg.
of a metaphor. It's that.
The cherry on the iceberg. Because I'm a penguin.
What's a cherry doing there? I don't know, but it's pretty good.
It's so delicious.
If you found yourself on an iceberg and you saw a cherry on there, tell me you wouldn't want it.
That's what that is.
That's what that is.
And she's like, okay, but you got one last chance, right? Like, do whatever you're going to do, but you better hurry because as soon as they make our guy talk, he's probably going to sing about you, right?
He's going to sing.
Everyone is weird about Sofia at the funeral. She can hear them whispering, oh my God, why did they let her out? She's so crazy.
Oh my God, she's wearing those shoes with that dress.
And she grabs a whole fistful of fucking pasta and shoves it in her mouth. Like, you want me to be crazy? Fuck it.
Yeah.
I love
And then
that.
she takes a napkin and
I love it.
Later on, we see her with like another martini, and of course, you know what's in that martini? All the fucking olives.
Yeah, there's 3 olives.
Crushing
I think
olives.
3
She's
olives
my
in a
queen.
martini is normal. I feel like you got to cover the whole toothpick.
Oh, I want that queen to have more olives every scene. She comes in with a martini. There's like one more, and then by the end of the season, she's got like a martini glass of olives, and there's no martini in it.
I'm telling you, this show is going to make me relapse. I really want a martini. It looks so salty and yummy. It's when she gulps them.
I'm just gonna get a jar of olives for you.
I do
Just have
love
them
olives.
Sitting here.
I would love that. Just a tooth.
I'll get a little toothpick, little thing of
Thank you.
toothpicks. Yeah.
That would be wonderful.
Don't get your grubby hands.
you
on
got a
olives.
fistful of them. You got a hand after hand after hand.
I don't know if I'm dehydrated or what. I just really been craving the salt, maybe.
Hey, it's good. It's
And
good
the
stuff.
vodka.
It's good. No, Chris.
That's the stress, not the dehydration. Yeah. So anyway,
So yeah, we get to Victor and Oz are driving
such
to
a
the
good
wake,
line.
and he's like, "We could be driving to our deaths right now." And Victor's like, "Should we turn around?"
so good.
I know, Victor's it's hilarious.
No, we got to go straight to it. Handle our business like men. Don't be a pussy boy.
Here, you plant the jewels.
That's
What?
such that's such a great bit, though. We could be running to our deaths right now. Should we turn around?
I know.
And then he's like, "You're gonna take the jewels. You're gonna plant them in Johnny V's car. Don't you feel alive, kid?" What?
He's like, you feel your heart beating? Try to keep it that way. It's so good. It's so good. But yeah, he's got this plan where he wants to frame Johnny, and a huge part of that is to also put the jewels that he took from Alberto, that were Carmine's jewels that were in the safe at the club at the Iceberg Lounge, in VD's car. So I wanted you to remember where those jewels came from. He gave them to, I got these for you, Alberto. You know, people all around here. That whole bit from the first episode. Sofia wants the dude to wake up, Ervat. But Oz thinks of a plan. He's so manipulative, and he just goes up to Johnny and Milos, and he's like, I can't believe you got a fucking Maroni dude in the basement. You don't trust me? That's crazy. And that's his way of...
Oh, you trust me? You trust Sofia, but not me? That's bullshit. I thought we were family, but yeah, it's no big deal. I'll leave.
He's cleverly throwing a wrench in the gears to buy himself some time, right? And then Sofia hears them watching old family movies and kind of the after celebration of the funeral. Is it a wake?
Yeah, I'll say it's a wake.
They're at the wake now. She hears baby Sofia, baby Alberto, all that stuff.
The video production on those family videos are great.
I know.
They're edited.
Somebody, they got a lot of money. You know what I mean?
I love
They had the best
You don't see
recording
the little
equipment.
out of date thing down there like 1949. Oh, wait. Oh, we didn't change the date on the camcorder.
You see a dude in the back with a boom mic. That's how they did their family
I mean,
movies.
they had great audio. I wouldn't be surprised.
For sure. I love this bit where cousin Carla comes up and she's so fucking fake. Sophia, we need to have a girls trip, until her daughter Gia comes up and she instinctively protects her daughter from Sophia when Sophia bends down to meet her. And Sophia clocks this and it enrages her, right?
Yeah.
And
I love how your beret's loose and
I'll do it.
I'll do it.
it's so menacing.
Keep her protected.
Like in no way, as an audience member, at least, and you guys might feel differently, in no way did I ever think that Sofia would ever do anything to this girl. But the fact that she noodles the mom and lets her think she will because she's using her mom's own prejudice against her.
Yes.
Is just, queen.
I'm very much on Sophia's side.
Yes. Yeah.
Every bit of this show so far.
Yeah.
And it's bullshit how they're treating her.
I would die for her.
And Luca wants to see Sofia, is what Johnny comes to say. Like, they found out that the Moroni's down there. They're angry about that. So they take them off to a separate room. And that's where Oz is able to slip in to see Ervat. But meanwhile, Vic gets caught trying to put the jewels in Johnny's car. Hey, that's my boss's car.
What?
No, the
What are
alarm
you
was
doing?
going off.
The alarm's going off. I'm trying to.
And he just panics and runs. I'm out of here.
He's like, what did you? Do you take something out of this?
No.
What's in that bag?
I was carrying these jewels already when I heard the alarm going off.
It's weird.
I mean, it's good he ran because he wasn't going to get out of that.
No.
He must be fast too, because there was like
He was fast.
6 people chasing him.
Yeah,
too.
he's booking it. The bosses are angry about Sofia not telling them what we told you to stop meddling. What the fuck are you doing here, right? And meanwhile, Oz is in there with Ervat, and he's like, "Hey, Nadia sent me. It's all going to be good, okay? But I need you to say a certain name when they ask you who told you. You got to say Johnny VD.
Johnny VD.
Hey, wake up, Johnny VD.
Okay, Johnny
Like the noodles,
I got it.
VD noodles."
I thought you meant Johnny Noodles.
That could be his nickname.
Johnny
Cool
Noodles.
mafia name.
Oh, get noodles in here.
Yeah, that's a great nickname.
Where's Noodles at?
Yeah, I like
You know
that.
why we call them noodles? Because VD noodles.
Yeah.
There's nothing more than that.
That's it.
Surface level bullshit.
You ever tried them with red pasta sauce? Oh, so good.
If you throw him against the wall, he sticks.
Mamma mia. Throw him against the wall. You don't want a wet noodle.
That's true. But then Vic calls right after he gets the confirmation from Ervat. Hey, I couldn't do it, Oz. I didn't get the jewels in the car. And Oz is like, okay, fuck it. This isn't going to be enough without the corroboration of the jewels. Just him saying Johnny's name won't work. He's like, I'll say his name. Johnny VD. I got it, Oz. Nah.
I'm your man.
Sorry.
Plans change, right? And he stabs him to death. Wipes his hand up, and then we all got to make sacrifices.
But like, the way he stabs him, and he's just
It's intimate.
Because like you see it, it's very intimate because he's like looking in his eyes. You can just see he watching the death leave, watching his life leave his eyes, and
It was
okay,
brutal,
he's good.
man.
It is very brutal.
Yeah.
And then you can just like that's the sides he has, because he's a completely different person when he's talking to Vic, and then when he has to do his thing, he's like, oh man, he's just.
He was stabbing him so hard. I thought like he was gonna like, is he gonna get into that guy's chest?
I
cavity
know.
with
Just
his
rip his
fist?
heart out.
Please cut him off.
Cut him off.
Ooh, shock today.
Shock today.
Yeah, it's sad. But Sofia's getting yelled at by Luca, and then they come in and they find Ervat dead, and she's like, "See, you listen to me now, motherfucker." Obviously, and the guy's literally here right now. So they round up everybody who's at the wake, who was also at the drop run,
Nobody leaves.
including Johnny, Castillo, the whole bunch, right? And then he slowly pulls the knife out of his pocket. He's panicking. He doesn't know what to do. He starts a fight with Johnny VD, and the scene.
What the bronies give you?
Yeah, he calls him a rat. You rat fucker. You rat. Oh, I just love it.
And then
Dirty rat.
Castillo breaks
Oh,
up
you
the
dirty
fight.
rat. You
and
killed
then
my brother.
It turns out Castillo has the knife. And what I love about this is Oz knew that putting the knife in Johnny's coat pocket wasn't the play, because without the jewels, Johnny's too high up and trusted in the organization. But Castillo is just some little fucker that they're going to immediately shoot in the face.
Yeah.
And they don't trust Sofia already.
And then he's Sophia's guy.
Yeah.
right hand. So yeah, definitely.
And he thought of this all, and this is his superpower, is that he
Definitely.
thinks on his feet. You know what I mean? And he keeps his cool. And then Sofia really wants to shoot Castillo in the face. Give me your fucking gun. But they won't give her the gun because she's crazy. Don't give her the gun. She's crazy.
She can shoot all of us.
And so eventually Luca shoots him, and Sofia's angry that she didn't get the chance to kill him. He probably killed my brother.
Yeah, he was mine to kill for Alberto.
You son of a bitch. And he's like, maybe it's time for you to leave Gotham. Yeah, it's really stressful.
I hear Italy is beautiful.
Go back to Italy. It's love. You used to spend your summers there, didn't you?
Oh, I've been to Italy so much.
So
Once
now-
you go to the Titanic Museum in Italy, what else is there to do?
Just gelato, and that's it. Gelato, nothing.
Gelato.
So with Lucas saying that, it just goes back to cousin Carla talking about Lake Como, Italy. And you could tell that
Didn't know that.
obviously she did not want to.
No Como.
Yeah, she didn't want to. She didn't want to go talk to Sofia because you could tell she was hesitant, possibly the hangman. And so she
Definitely
could tell she was
actually want a girls
coerced. She was coerced to go talk to her about.
Oh, you think
going
so?
that's what I'm thinking.
Because that's
Me
her
and my-
cousin, so that's Luca's daughter. Is that Luca's daughter, probably?
No, it's so Gia's last name is Vidi, so I'm thinking that's Johnny's daughter. It's Carla's daughter.
Carla is Johnny's daughter.
Yes,
What you're saying?
Yeah, Carla. I'm thinking because they said they're cousins, but Vidi is
a cousin on her mother's side, I think, right?
It's Noodles. That's old man Noodles' girl.
Yeah.
Old man Noodle.
So I'm thinking that like they're just because they're like we split as kids. So I'm just thinking that she was coerced because obviously
That makes sense,
When her
yeah.
daughter comes up, she grabs her real quick because she's like, obviously I don't trust her about anything, but they're trying to get her to leave.
like
so
that.
So like, oh, let's go on a girls trip. Let's go. So you might kill me when we get there, but it's fine. I'll do it. I'll do it for anything for the family.
Horny Italian boys. Worth it.
Interesting. Good catch.
Good catch.
Good catch. Then we cut to Oz and Vic, who were tasked with burying Castillo and Ervat. Clean up the fucking mess. Even though he's the one that killed him. He's like, this is bullshit. This is fucking bullshit. What do I have to do with this?
So pissed.
I had nothing to do with this.
And then he's just making Vic do it all anyway. This is fucking bullshit. But then he makes Vic lie down in the grave on the dead bodies. You see this, Vic? This is what happens to you when you choke. It's a good lesson.
You made a lot of work for me, Vic. I didn't do any of it, but you made a lot of work for me.
I hate this about myself, but I've always been this way, especially when it comes to mafia movies. I'm like a very stereotypical toxic dude. Because in this scene, I'm like, yeah, Vic, that's what happens when you choke. I hope you learn.
Oh, shit.
You know what I mean?
You're like, get in there.
Get in the grave, Vic.
Get in.
Kiss him on the cheek, Vic.
That doesn't bode well for our business relationship.
Steve.
Get in the grave, Steve.
Well, we don't murder people. We podcast.
If the live show doesn't go well, it'll be you cut to me in a forest somewhere with Kit going, get in the hole, Steve.
This is what happens when you choke, Steve.
Yeah.
They didn't like the jokes of the live show, Steve. Get in there.
Just laying down there with dead Jimmy and dead Alex.
Why'd you kill Alex too?
I just picked some people that have been on the show. I couldn't do it to Madison.
No, of course not.
She's like the Sofia.
Protect her at all costs. I would die for her.
I don't know, man. Sorry, Alex. Jimmy, fuck
I would just get in the home and be like, oh, Alex, and who the fuck is this?
you. Yeah. But anyway,
We
he's
gotta
like,
get Alex back on at some point. It's been a while.
we should. He tells Vic, like, you fucked up, but like Carmine gave me all kinds of crazy shit to do. And whatever Carmine threw at me, I delivered. Whatever he threw at me, he threw stuff at me all the time.
Maybe you ain't cut out for this life.
I used to be a pitcher. I used to throw baseballs. Well, I was a boxer, but then I got paid. I fixed them, so I threw the match.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like this LinkedIn profile page going on for the Penguin.
What else can you throw? You can throw footballs.
You could throw.
Sometimes when I was really little, I used to go to my mom's bedroom late at night, and I would say, "Mommy, I throwed up."
And she would be like, go back to bed, pussy boy.
But I throwed up.
Clean it up first.
Yeah.
Just smoking my cop smoking.
But Sofia calls Oz, and he's like, "Vic, fill in the hole. I got a call to make, right?" And she's like upset, right? They meet. He killed my brother, Castillo. I can't believe it.
Yeah,
right?
they meet at her family plot at the cemetery.
They found
Is
the
that what it's called? It's the underground plot where they're in a wall.
mortuary.
No, mausoleum.
Mausoleum.
Yeah.
Up top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Family Maz.
The old Maz.
Oz, meet me at the Maz.
Ma Cobb's Maz. Yeah, and she says they found the jewels in Castillo's apartment. So that's what Penguin was alluding to, talking to Vic at the gravesite. I had to go plant jewels. It's a lot of work, Vic.
It's a lot of work for me, Vic.
Lay on the bodies.
A lot of waddling, Vic, around the town, Vic.
Smell them. Smells dead, doesn't it? Does not smell like Aqua Paradise. It's the opposite of that.
Necro Paradise.
Yeah.
Necro Paradise.
It smells like Crown Point.
Oh, that hurts doubly for you because you're from there. I like the small touch when they cut to the I don't know, it's not headstones, but the plaques for her family that are in the
trophies
in the mausoleum trophies. Yeah.
Alberto got a participation trophy.
Well, I keep forgetting that this show takes place in 2022. So you see Alberto's death day. It's 2022, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, because this is when the Batman came out.
Yeah, March 2022. So this is where Sofia says, "I'm going to take you up on your offer. I want to take over the family. I'm going to take from them now." And then she looks at Oz. This should be fun, and he says, "Let's dance."
Let's dance.
An allusion to his "we should just dance" earlier at the funeral, right?
Great callback. Great callback. Even better cover of "Happy Together." That the song was great. Who did the original song for "Happy Together"?
Happy Together.
It's not the Yardbirds, is it? But anyway, this version is "Happy Together" by Floor Cry. It's amazing. I love that cover.
Do you know Floor Cry?
No, I didn't. I just heard this song. I'm like, that's a dope ass cover, and I like.
There's a good one in Cyberpunk too.
Is there?
The song was written by Gary Boner.
Yes.
I think it's Bonner. It's by the Turtles.
The Turtles. That's right.
The Turtles.
That's right.
I'm a big fan of the Turtles.
Whenever I hear the Turtles version of that song, I remember a commercial for the original Super Smash Brothers games, because it was a bunch of people in like big like Mario and Pikachu costumes, and they start hitting each other with steel chairs.
Yes, that was awesome.
I don't know why that's my
commercials used to be something.
We used to make art in America.
We did. Right? I remember smoking a joint with this guy on campus at college, and he was really smart. And
well, okay, was he smart before the joint?
It's hard to say because I was always high. Okay. But we were in philosophy classes together and stuff, and he always had good things to say. And I remember thinking, like, what do you want to do with your life? Because he was like an EMB major, and he was like, I want to make commercials. Yeah. And I was like, and I was very anti-capitalist, like fucking homeless, but arrogant as shit. Like, that shocked me. And he's like, no, dude, they're fucking hilarious. You got to be quick, get in, get out. They're so clever. Like, I think it's an art form, And I've always thought about that. Like,
I mean, he's not wrong.
And you can make a lot of money off of them too.
I hope he's somewhere making commercials.
That's where the money is in our business.
Yeah.
Is commercials.
If you're out there,
Jeremy Saulnier,
contact the podcast.
Jeremy Saulnier worked in corporate marketing, as a filmmaker, and he made up commercials and stuff for big businesses. And he made enough money to spend his life savings on a movie called Blue Ruin, which got into festivals, won some awards, and gave him a career as a filmmaker. Thought that was cool. But yeah, he was a commercial guy at first. But let's get into our Slush Puppies, our top 3 favorite moments of episode 2. Hatter, what was your number 3?
Number 3 for me was Sofia waking up in the closet. It was a favorite, but it also, like, it hurt me to see her suffering like that, because she's been, like I said before, she was told she's been crazy and she spent all the time in Arkham. And then you said, this is the aftermath of everything she suffered. She can't even sleep in her own comfortable bed. She has to sleep in a dark closet on probably looks like boxes with a pillow or something.
There's no thread count on those.
Yeah, she's having terrible nightmares and night terrors. And she comes out, she's pale, she looks disheveled, she's got blood under her fingernails, and that scene is just so well done because it just shows what some people go through when they are tormented by mental health. And it's just a beautifully shot scene to me. It's one of
That's a good one.
Scenes, yeah.
That's a good one.
Steve, you're number 3.
My number 3 is Sofia just really noodling that
Edie?
mom. No, it's when the mom comes up, she's all fake, like, oh, let's go get those horny Italian boys, girl. Come on, let's do it. You know it. Let's slut. Let's do it. and then the Gia, the little girl, comes up and she immediately like changes, and Sofia sees it, and just the way Sofia's like, oh, fuck you. Oh, you think I'm a hangman? I'm gonna make you so uncomfortable. And again, I don't think she was ever gonna harm that little girl, but the way that she just knew exactly how to dig at this woman that just is being so disrespectful and rude and mean to her, and just assuming of, and like you said, Hatter, like she's going through something awful because of her stay at Arkham, and then people, the way they treat her is so terrible. And I just love how she the small way she's able to kind of throw it back at people. And this scene was just, it had so much tension to it. I loved it. Oh, it was great. Loved it. Number 3 favorite moment.
It's a great moment. My number 3 is driving to the Falcones, where Oz says we could be driving to our deaths. Should we turn around?
Nah.
You feel your heart beating in this great? Because, you know, I think a part of Oz does like the adrenaline of this lifestyle, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's what he's trying to sell Victor on. And Victor, being a normal person, is like, this is awful. Maybe we should not go there then. I'm thinking,
I want to go play video games.
yeah. I just think it's so funny, but it's very insightful. Loved it so much. You're number 2, Hatter.
Number 2 was he goes and sees Macabre. She's wandering around, and he is not facing the realization that his mom is sick. He's pushing into the back burner, tells the guy, what do you advise? You're not a medical doctor. You don't know. But just the fact that he knows how to kind of get her out of that spot that she's in, plays the jazz music, dances with her, brings her back to a time, because that's where her mind is right now. Her mind is in that time where her little pussy boy's little, and they're dancing in the thing. And she just said, if my boys aren't anything, what's that make me? Because she's you can tell she's about herself, but it just shows that Oz is not just about himself. He's about his mom. He's about a family. He's about making.
Well, and because his brothers are dead,
Yes.
his mother put all of her hopes and dreams on him.
Yes. And you see that. And you can tell he tries not to let it bother him. Like you see the facial expressions when she says the stuff like that.
Yeah, it breaks him.
It hits him. It breaks him. And it's just the acting there, I think, is beautiful.
Wow. My number 2 is it's the very last scene. It's Oz and Sofia at the mausoleum, a word I learned today.
Mausoleum.
Mausoleum. Oh, shit. At the mausoleum, and just that little bit, because these are my 2 favorite characters of the show by a mile. I love them so much. Like anytime either of them are on screen, I'm transfixed. So just the mere possibility, the mere idea of a team up.
Oh, it's a partnership.
It's just kind of like, oh, let's dance, baby. Let's go. And just the way he kind of, she opens up like, let's do it. Let's take over this family. Fuck these guys. I'm going to be running the show. I'm like, yes, queen, let's do it. And Oz is like, let's dance. I'm like, fuck. Let's do it. I hope you never betray each other, but it will happen. I'm sure. But
I think because you're just waiting on that. You're waiting on what's going to happen. To one of them's going to betray the other one. You know it's going to happen. You're just like, I can't wait to see how it happens.
I know. But until then, though, I'm going to enjoy the ride.
Oh, yes.
It's not about the destination. It's about the ride.
Goddamn right.
Your number 2, Kit?
My number 2 is also that ending scene. The Let's Dance bit, and just Sofia Falcone coming into her decision to try to take power, to not put up with this shit anymore. I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore.
It's my money, and I want it now.
That's right. And both of those quotes, you can quote me.
Where's 877 cash now?
Hatter, I'm curious. What is your favorite moment of episode 2?
My favorite moment of episode 2 is the truck scene when they're trying.
Oh, you love the jokes, huh? Ray's jokes hit?
Yeah, Ray's jokes hit. Cobb's
The Sinatra.
Yeah, the Sinatra. That my favorite. I love when they tie great music to a great scene. And Sinatra playing there where all chaos is going, and that music is like, it's calming music, but the chaotic stuff that's happening in the truck.
Nice
and
juxtaposition.
Oz is freaking out, but he's so quick at thinking on his feet. He just changes the plan and it works out in his favor. And it's just it's amazing. And it's my favorite scene so far, I think, honestly, because the music gets me. If you have a great song, like it could change an entire scene.
The soundtrack is great in this.
Yeah, if they played another song like, I don't know, Benny Hill music right there.
Does the
and he's like, it would have been great, but it's not like, because like Sinatra is a calm.
That would be great for a completely different reason.
But that's my favorite scene. And
love it.
Yeah.
I almost called you Jimmy. Who the fuck is Jimmy?
Who the fuck is that?
What's your favorite moment?
I can't get Benny Hill playing it. Because my favorite moment is Oz and Macabre dancing, and now I can't stop thinking about them dancing to Benny Hill. Come on, Ma. Remember. It's your song. Benny Hill. Yeah, I'm going to go down the hallway and go through a bunch of different doors like an old skit. No, but my favorite scene is the Macabre and Oz dance scene. Again, and like anytime dementia pops up in a show, it really hits me really hard. I just like want to cry because I just feel so bad for everybody involved. And she's such an interesting character because she's awful. Why are you laughing? Talking about dementia. You're like,
I'm sorry. The Benny Hill took me down a pipeline. And then I ended up back at WAP. So I pictured him, the needle on the record player touching down.
There's some holes in this house. There's some holes in this house.
Yes. And then his mom being like, oh. You know I get to this song, Oswald.
Wet ass pussy boy.
Anyway, sorry, go on about the dementia.
Oh, it's sad. No, but I love how, she's being awful to her son, really. But like, I don't know. I feel like anybody who's dealt with a parent that's going through something like that, or a family member going through something like that, there's that unintentional hurt that happens from that. Like where they say something that maybe they don't mean normally, or they're not themselves. And I don't think that's necessarily what's happening here, but just that like look of like, oh, mama, you something, mom.
It's your mommy.
You a great house. Yeah. It's
no matter what they're like, it's your mommy.
I know.
And it seems like she was probably a single mother growing up. So she was like the patriarch and the matriarch of the household. True. So he looked up to her so much, and to see like, kind of like, I know she treats him like crap, but she's his hero.
Yeah.
And just to see her decline, anybody you see, any of your heroes like that decline, it just gets you.
I watched my mom spiral mentally and physically. It's not an easy thing,
Not at all.
Just say crazy shit all the time and lay there taking her oxygen out so she could smoke a cigarette, and berate me. But at the same time, it's my mommy.
Right.
So I get it.
Yeah.
Take it back to a serious note. Didn't think I could do that, did you?
No, I didn't.
Great moments, though, guys. But my favorite is the opening sequence, the nightmare, where we met Dr. Julian Rush. And I just love how maybe it's a little on the nose, but I liked the hypno light being in the Arkham dream sequence. I like the fact that Alberto showed up, tells us why she was so close to her brother and why she's so upset that he was killed, because he's the only one that didn't forget her. Yeah. But also, we see that she's sleeping in a closet. She's, Alberto's all she had. Yeah. And it was just taken from her, and she's going to rest at, stop at nothing until that's avenged. But, then he's missing the pinky, all that stuff just worked. It was
what
so
happened
effective.
To your finger? Oh, it's so sad.
So effective. I just thought it was great. And that's my number one.
Lost this one to the pink.
Yeah. This one to the stink.
I'm so glad you knocked that out of the park.
I know, that was great.
I'm just like, here? And you're like, yeah.
But that brings us to our drops segment. Any kind of Easter eggs that we might be able to pull out.
Drops.
Anybody got anything?
Drops.
So the one that, it could be an Easter egg, it could be not. Dr. Julian Rush working at Arkham. It could be a different take on a different character we've seen in the history. Like maybe Dr. Crane, who became, if you guys know, Batman lore, Scarecrow.
Cillian Murphy.
Yeah,
very
Cillian
attractive
Murphy.
person.
Awesome.
Scarecrow.
There's talks that might be that character. Or a type of that character.
What's the doctor's name that has the glasses and he like deduces who Batman is through therapy? Remember that guy?
Yes.
Can't remember his name is it Doctor Strange? No. Hugo Strange.
Hugo Strange. Dr. Hugo Strange, yes.
Dr. Strange?
It's Benedict Cumberbatch. Yeah.
When you look up the Batman wiki, which is apparently just because I wanted to see if he was a character that I didn't remember from like the comics, and I don't think he is.
No, he's not.
They credit him as a lover.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Sofia Falcone's. So maybe it wasn't
Spoilers,
inappropriate.
wiki.
Maybe it wasn't inappropriate that he was. Well, maybe
technically it is inappropriate if he's her doctor and he's smashing
that's
her.
A conflict of interest, sure, but at least it's not weird that he's like,
putting
her in a full Nelson.
Okay. Transmission.
I got some really low hanging fruit. There's we didn't talk about it last week, and it's probably so obvious it doesn't need mentioning. But the Iceberg Lounge, which is the club that Oz works at, where Carmine had a lounge at the top, an apartment at the top, is the famous lair of the Penguin from comics, the Arkham games, all that stuff. So that's pretty neat. Also, I don't know if this is real or not, but they mentioned Monroe's as a place they were hanging out at, right? Meet you at Monroe's in this episode. I could be completely wrong, but I was looking into it, and there was a Catherine Monroe, which was one of the original Falcons in the 50s. So it could just be one of their properties named after her. There's been a few Monroes in Batman lore before. Yeah. She was born in 1956. She was a socialite in Gotham City, right? Secretly a former high-ranking member of the Court of Owls, known as the Messenger. We all know about the Court of Owls.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just, maybe not. Maybe not. What do you guys think of Victor? We'll talk in the Easter egg segment here, but it's fascinating. Their dynamic is, somebody online on Twitter joked, because modern iterations of Batman are really afraid of Robin because it's a kind of a kooky, weird relationship, right? And so they never do it. Yet they gave Penguin a Robin is what the guy was joking about. And we love this shit. This is so fun. Why don't they give Batman a fucking Robin, right? So, but do you think there's any kind of future characters we all know that he could become? I know you talked about a Victor Zsasz just because his name's Victor. Any other ideas about?
But then they like in this episode, they keep hinting and throwing that he has nothing. They keep throwing that, like, they're not like trying to throw it in his face, but every time they say, like, what do you got? All he has is Oz right now. So I'm just thinking I want to say he's still trying to be somewhat good, but I think in the future there's something that's going to just snap with this kid because he literally has nothing. As of right now, he has nothing.
I think here, and this is my theory that I totally have thought of longer than this moment. I think because so far in episode 1, he and Victor, Penguin and Victor, had a long-standing conversation about pickles on a burger, right?
Sure. 2 pickles.
In this episode, he messed up the cilantro on the taco.
He's going to be a chef.
I'm thinking that we're seeing the origin story of the Condiment King. If this series doesn't end with Victor going like, you could call me the Condiment King, and he starts squirting ketchup and mustard in people's eyes, and Johnny Vidi's like, oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
He's putting ketchup on noodles.
You look, put ketchup there. Get it. Somebody shoot this guy. Yeah.
That's a very good theory. I like it.
If it doesn't happen, I'll hate the show.
Well, we clearly have no more drops. That brings us to our final segment, choosing the Kingpin, our favorite performance of the episode.
Also known as the Pussy Boy.
That's right. Hatter, who are you going with?
So just like last week, I did love Sofia in this one, Kristen Milioti. But I got to give it to Colin again. The way is just carrying himself and the way that he is just interacting with everybody and like the walks and he's running with the waddle. And I don't know. It just, I've got to give it to him again.
Yeah, I mean, he transformed.
Yeah, he completely, and like you would never know that this was the same guy in Phone Booth.
Deep cut.
I love Phone Booth.
Phone Booth is a 2004 flick, you know?
I love Phone Booth.
Okay.
This is great. I hope every episode Hatter pulls out a random 2000s decade movie that I haven't thought of since.
We're back to Ghost Ship.
Ghost Ship.
Ghost Ship.
Madison's
You'd
Ghost
never
Ship.
think that the Penguin is the guy from SWAT. The guy from Alexander.
He's Alexander the Great.
No, Phone Booth. Phone Booth's a good one.
Phone Booth's a great movie. I just, he was in an Oscar-winning movie, 2 years ago.
I can't believe the guy who played Bullseye is playing the Bullseye Penguin.
The peanut thing.
God, I can't believe I didn't say that cut.
Hey, man, I like the Phone Booth reference.
Yeah.
Steve, who are you nominating?
This episode belongs to Kristen Milioti, like hands down. She's just so captivating. Like, I mean, they both are. Colin and her are both captivating.
Sure. The titular penguin.
I feel like every episode this season is like, which one of these two are getting it? But I think this episode was hers to command. Just, the dream sequence in the beginning.
As am I.
Waking inside man. The dream sequence.
Me?
We're witnessing Kit's origin story.
She's like, I didn't peg you as a Kit Laser. I'm like, oh shit, what's my name got to be for you to peg me?
Whoa. No, yeah, she's great. All the reasons.
Phenomenal.
Give her everything. I would die for her.
I don't think I've ever done this, but I'm going to give it to Kristen Milioti again. 2 in a row.
Back to back.
Back to back.
Back to back.
And I might just do it 8 times. I don't care.
Okay. It's your
Depending
show.
on- Maybe she's not in one of the episodes. I don't know. I'll have a hard time doing that, but I was thinking about her. I'm giving it to her. Yeah, I don't have anything to say that hasn't already been said, but she, like I said at the beginning, I think she is the surprise anchor to a lot of what's good about the show.
Yeah.
And for that reason, I'm going to give it back to Kristen Milioti. So we got 2 Collins, 2 Kristens. What did you do last time?
Colin.
So Colin and Kristen?
Yeah.
You're more of a sane.
I'm split.
You're the voice of reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see the next one.
Yeah, we'll see you on episode 3.
You better know what side to choose, Mr. May.
I'm going to throw it over to Steve. Thank you guys for, I love that tro.
Just throw it.
Yeah.
Throw it.
I trowed up.
Mama, I trowed up.
I trowed up.
That's
That wraps up our coverage of episode 2. Tune in next Sunday night, Monday morning, whatever, for our coverage of episode 3. Has our Rings of Power wrapped up yet or not?
No. That'll
Yeah.
be next. That'll be this Thursday.
We recorded all of those like a month ago, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
People keep DMing me, like Alexis from Discord, good friend of mine. She's like, oh my God, that was crazy. That happened and last night. And I was like, what happened? I watched that like a month ago.
What episodes are even out?
She was talking about the drummer. Like, oh, God.
Yeah, the little toddler
She's
drummer.
like, oh my God, I hope you guys mentioned the drummer. I was like, oh boy, did we?
Yeah, we did.
I think.
I love that guy.
I vaguely recall. But yeah, so our Rings of Power coverage is still dropping every Thursday night.
The finale drops this Thursday.
Okay, so it's almost over. Game of Thrones on the Patreon every week. Blah blah blah. Live show. Love you guys. Thank you so much. That's all the time we've got for right now. We've got to go return some videotapes. My name is Kit.
My name is Hatter.
And I'm Steve.
And this is Streaming Things, streaming the Penguin.
Throw it up.
I throwed up.